Good afternoon, traders. Nathan here from ACY Securities, having a look at a potential buy trade setup on the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. Okay, I share my screen with you. Let's have a look at what my thinking is here. We did have some positive data come out on the producer price index, both input and output on New Zealand early this morning. These are medium size events, so nothing to get too excited about. But when you put that positive data in line with the fact that the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar is right down around, I'm just showing you a daily chart here. So you can see is previous resistance level starting to become support here, right around that 69 level there. So what I'm looking for is, again, a counter trend trade. Let's be straight about it. The New Zealand dollar on the daily here is in a strong downtrend. Now I'm going to go to the weekly trend. Let's get a better look at what my thinking is here. So I'm looking at the fact that the New Zealand dollar, okay, fundamentally, they've said we're going to raise interest rates. In fact, they're one of the very few countries outside of Iceland, central banks, that have turned around and said we're going to actually raise interest rates. And as a result, you can see that on the weekly chart here, the currency is putting in higher bottoms. Okay, so you can see this one here. And are we starting to put in potentially another higher bottom in line with that trend? So when I look at the bigger picture, it's a bit sideways for me, but it is putting in these higher bottoms. Let's put a fib on that. So let's go from the bottom to the top. Let's have a look. This most recent move down, and look where we're at, 61, 62% retracement on the move down. And it also coincides with a major daily support level. So here I'm looking at that and thinking, is there a low risk trading opportunity? So back to the daily, you can see it down there. It's pulling back at about 62% on the fib, and it is putting in these higher bottoms. So let's go to the 15-minute and look for a potential trade setup. So looking for a reversal to get the lowest possible risk. And here it is here. It's very interesting. So if you're watching Duncan's webinars and you're learning all about drawing in trend lines and so forth, we've got this major level of support, previous resistance. We've got our trend line on the 15 that's broken, okay? And we've also got our MACD crossing up. So we're getting this change of direction. So right around here, we're looking at risk at about 20 pips. So risk at about 20 pips, and we've got a target, you know, up here, even at today's projected high of around 42 pips. So that's a 2-for-1 trade. We might be able to go further all the way up to the next resistance level. If it is tracking a little sideways, then we're looking at about a 70 pip trade there. So then you're looking at sort of 3 to 4 times. These sort of trades are the ones I like. I will take these every day of the week. Why? Because I know that if I've got multiple reasons for a trade with a low risk and a higher return opportunity, then if I do that over 10 different trades, I have found that that can be profitable for me. So that is what I'll be looking at here. I'll keep you updated. Hi traders, looking to get risk out and some partial profits out of this New Zealand dollar against the US dollar buy position that we're in at the moment. So let's first of all recap obviously where we've entered and where we're at now, and then look at making some decisions based on how the trade is performing. All right, because obviously you can't sit there and watch the trade every minute throughout the night. I know I certainly don't. So let's just go in and have a look at the chart right now. All right, so back here, I'll move this for you so it's all really basic to see. You see, this was our entry point as we've discussed. Trend line break, that green line right there. Okay, so throughout the night, down at daily support, you'll see this red line down the bottom, that's our stop. Let me just drag that in a little bit for you. There it is. So there's our stop. So to recap, we were risking about 16, 17 pips. All right, so let's move across and you'll see we had some of the Fed bosses talking last night. I think it was Bostic, a couple of others, Hawker, I believe, having a little chat to the world. We had some news come out as well on housing starts and housing permits in the US. So it wasn't great news, but it wasn't too bad either. So you can see the market was a bit sideways throughout the night. Now, the big news, I guess, that's come out is the inflation figure has just come out an hour or so ago on New Zealand. And it was up for the quarter. It's about 2.96%. All right. And they've raised interest rates as well. So they've seen that as pretty positive news. So if we have a look here, you'll see this move up, beautiful move up on the back of that inflation data. And you can see it's still moving up now. So if I measure it from where we are right now down to our green line, our entry point, you can see we're up 31.9 pips. All right, we're up over 30 pips. So we were risking sort of 16, 17 pips. So right now we're at a 2-for-1 profit situation. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab our stop, this red line, and I'm going to drag it up and I'm going to stick it just above, pip or two above where we entered. So now we've got risk out of the trade. We're in a position where we can't lose. Now, the second part, what I'm going to do here is sell half. So I'm going to go into the market and I'm going to dump half, making, on half profit. So all we're left with is half the trade size and in a position where we can't lose on that, but we've taken some profit on the initial 50% of the trade size. So a winning trade all round. The next question will be, what target will I then look at taking the second, half of the trade size at profit as well? So to do that, I'm going to just go back to the daily. So on this daily here, you can see a daily resistance becoming support. Counter trend is the issue. You can see it's putting in lower tops and bottoms all the way down to this support level. So we are going counter trend. So the trend being at the moment that it's putting in these lower tops, okay, and then lower bottoms. So I'm going to go to the 4-hourly and I need to choose perhaps a target, okay, using my fib. All right, so I'm going to get the fib. I'm going to go to this most recent 4-hourly sort of top level there, down to that bottom, if you can see that there. So if I could get price to get all the way up to 79% retracement, I'll be in a position where I will exit the other half of that trade. Now, the other interesting thing is, I'm going to draw a line in. So is there any resistance to worry about on the 4-hourly? And you'll notice that over here, there certainly is. So this support level, okay, it's red. I'm going to change that color for us so that we can see everything really clearly. We'll make it black. You can see that's the level there. Look what it lines up with. So this potential resistance also coincides with the 79% retracement level. In a downtrend, if I got a setup up there and reversed, I might be encouraged to look at a potential sell trade. So I'm going to monitor this now, having taken partial profits and raised my stop to break even. I'll take the rest of the profit if it gets up to that 79%. So that's the plan. Let's see how this plays out. I'll keep you updated. Hi traders, getting net profit, complete total closeout of the trade. It's right up at our target. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about on this New Zealand dollar against the US dollar buy trade that we got into yesterday. You can see the goals were to get up around this 79% retracement level, up around 4-hourly resistance, right around today's projected high. All of those technical headwinds, I'm going to say to myself, let's get out and take the rest of the profit. So on the first trade up, I believe we're up about 30 pips, but we were only risking 15 or 16. So it was like 2-for-1, but we got risk out of the trade. Now we're up around 50 pips. Okay, so we've got 50 pips out of the second half. I think a very successful trade, considering the fact that we were going counter trend. So we are going counter trend here down at daily support. And I think if you look at the previous bounces up, I think we've done very well there. So Congratulations. Good trade in a day and a bit. And I look forward to seeing you all again and talking you through some of these trades soon.